Aloha Rising and Grand Tidings, one and all. Kilomal Tengon here for this week's weekly rhythm. Well. So it is the technical end of the year for the Gregorian calendar, which has a lot of people really focusing upon, New Year's Eve. There's a lot of things that come around in terms of this time of the year and reflection and connection, looking at things in terms of moving into, you know, new year, new you. Well, let me be maybe not the first to say. However, the Gregorian calendar is full of it. If we look at, I was on a coach call earlier today, and my client, she was saying that she's in Alaska and that it's super cold and, the snow is out and this, that, and the other. And it's interesting to really connect with that because as we look at nature, and albeit it's not in all aspects of the world. However, the wintertime, generally speaking, is a time when we go more within, right? We look at the natural world, we look at the trees as it begins for that period and starts to release its leaves. We look at the buds pulling up, animals hibernating. And one of the things that's really interesting is that nature's rhythm and sort of our more social expectations don't always necessarily align. So if we're looking at how nature responds to this time of the year, often it's more so going within. And yet with the flows of Christmas and New Year's Eve, often it gets to be much more social. So let me be one of the persons to remind you that it's okay for us to really just take some time for ourselves, to have the spaciousness of being alone, and also just to be okay with really being in a very emotional state, because that's a lot of what's happening right now is the connection, the deepening of where we are emotionally and how it is that we can look at moving forward into more, a reimagining of what more actually looks like, because we need to first acknowledge where we are within our own lives emotionally, even from a practical perspective, to be able to then feel into what feels good in moving forward into something else, something new, something renewing, something refreshing. And so, as we look at this weekly rhythm, this week we're really going into this aspect of the Sage of Wands. That's really being present with our own desires. It's being more attentive to what it is that those wants look like, what it is that really gets us lit and inspired. Because as we look at this, sort of the reflection, the connection, more of the introspective state of mind and being, we get to feel into what it is that we've created so far, like emotionally. What is our experience like? And what more do we want beyond those areas that we've already created for ourselves? And things can be awesome. Yet, what does phenomenal look like? We don't need to be going into setting expectations around resolutions and goals. That's not what I'm saying. What I am putting forth is this is a great time to really just connect. And this week, especially, even though we're moving from December into January, even though we're going in from 2023 into 2024, the area that we can really look at in all of that is time space card. And what is this new reality that we want to create look like? What does it feel like? This is a really good time to begin to ask those questions, because inevitably there's a reason that that is not our current reality, right? And a good thing to do is start to ask those questions, because beneath all of that are emotions, is a story, are things that have not fully aligned. And our intention now is not to align those things yet. That time is coming. Between now and March is a really good place for this reimagining, for reconnecting, and for an area of reflection so that we can better figure out what that actually looks like for us. And so this week, spend some time in terms of the emotions that you're feeling, creating that spaciousness that we can actually feel further into it, deeper, more readily and steadily. And what does that actually begin to look like in terms of being able to transition, being able to turn, being able to redirect and reorient towards a new reality? That's it for now. Love and aloha.